we ended up, there's so many different things that we could test. What we did in our project here is we did the FMS. So we did the top 7 of the FMS, and we also had ankle mobility. So we measured ankle mobility. We know from research that, listen, ankle mobility is one of those risk factors that are associated not just with lower extremity injury, but also with upper extremity injury. So we did the FMS testing. We did the Y balance. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Y balance testing, our Y balance testing, there's an upper body component to that and a lower body component. And really what we're testing there is we are testing dynamic stability and motor control at the extremes of motion. We also had performance testing. For any testing that we do out there, athletes, parents, particularly at these high school levels, if you think of it, really the hook, if you will, they want to know, am I going to get faster? Right? How fast am I running? How high can I jump? How far can I jump? What's my agility test? Those type of things. So we had some performance testing that we included into this to make it a little bit more like a pro combine type of testing. All right, Michelle, for some reason, there we go. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, we did station testing. All right, this is the best way to efficiently get through as many individuals as you can. And I will tell you, and you'll see a little systematic process of what we went through, but this flow of stations, we went from intake forms, consent forms, education was a big part. Again, one of our goals with education. So as we went through the testing, we actually would educate the athletes. We'd have some parents that came into this, the coaches would be listening in, but we wanted them to know that, listen, what you're doing here, the testing that we're going to go through is the same type of testing that we do in the NFL, in the NHL, Major League Baseball, and other sports. So this is not something that is just geared to you. This is something we are doing at the elite level. So we inform them there. We also wanted to tell them a little bit about the testing and the flow and what that would look like. So when they got to the stations, they would understand it a little bit better. Again, we did the FMS, we did the Y balance, YBT upper and YBT lower. And then we did some sport performance testing and data entry at the end of this. Where we entered that data was into a Move2Perform software. For those of you not familiar with the Move2Perform software, is a validated software. It allows us the opportunity to really categorize the individual and categorize the team into 4 categories: substantial deficit, moderate deficit, low deficit, and no deficit. And essentially this validated tool here allows us to look at how they get into those different categories is based on different limitations that they may have and what we pick up. It also could be based on pain itself. As I stated a little earlier, we did a systematic process here. We wanted to initially look at, okay, let's get our testing team down. Let's look at the efficiencies. Let's target one of our schools that we had a relationship with, and let's show the testing and what we can get out of that. We only did on the first testing just results. We just wanted to go through the flow, show the coach, show the athletic trainer what it looked like. From there, we then went into 2 separate schools where we implemented it with 2 different lacrosse teams, competing lacrosse teams. We wanted to do a test and retest. But in between that 8 weeks, we did team and individual interventions based on what their limitations were. I'll get to that here in a second. Then we did another testing where we wanted to look at a whole school district. So we wanted to test large scale, multiple teams and see what we could do with the efficiencies of that testing.